Happy November 1st, everybody. Yes, it's not Halloween anymore. Yesterday's Halloween. It's still Halloween week on this channel. And yes, more Blu-ray videos on Halloween week. It's insane. I just love Blu-ray so much. So, this is my horror movie Blu-ray collection video. Now, not all these films considered as scary horror films. There could be some thrillers, there could be some monster films. As long as the concept is terrifying, I consider them as horror films. So before we get started, have a look at these figures in the background. Like, we got Death Note. Yes, I got into anime quite a bit, and he looks freaking cool. We also got Brian and Alien, even though it doesn't start on Schwarzenegger, I'm gonna say Alien in that voice. Get ready for my Terminator Dark Fate review. I'm gonna speak a lot of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I haven't seen it yet, but I'll check it out. But this is one of my favorite figures ever. I'm just gonna bring it out. The Michael Myers figure that I got recently, and this figure is complete freaking badass. I love this thing. Like, I just love the setup where he just cuts his head off. Well, not his head off, like someone's head off. But anyway, that's enough of showing my figures. Let's just put him back. Oops. His head fell off. We have no time to fix his hand. Let's just get started, guys, on my horror Blu-ray collection video. Now, this is all going to be one take. If I F up, who cares? We'll live with it. So, let's get started showing you my horror movie collection. Let's start off with Annabelle Creation. Probably my favorite movie in the Conjuring universe. This is a really unique horror film. I love David F. Sandberg. I love Shazam, this movie. And Lights Out, I think he directed as well. Yeah, probably the best out of the Conjuring spin-offs. But now that the Conjuring universe is starting to really not interest me in a while, so I'm very worried about the Conjuring 3. Please ignore outside, it's very windy. It's hot in here, it's like 33 degrees, so let's hope we can survive this hotness. So next, A Quiet Place, my favorite horror film of 2018, last year. This film is fantastic. I really love the concept of this movie. Everyone has to be quiet, or if they make a noise, the creatures will kill you. John Krasinski directed this film, also starring this film with Emily Blunt. I love the concept. This is a really unique horror film. I saw a screen of this movie and I couldn't eat my popcorn because of how loud I am eating popcorn. That's how suspenseful A Quiet Place is. And I'm very interested in the sequel coming out next year with Cillian Murphy is actually going to be in it. So, pretty interesting. Okay, next we got not all of them, but 3 of my favorite Alien movies. The first one is definitely my favorite, of course. Aliens is phenomenal. James Cameron, great direction. And I thought Alien Covenant is completely underrated. A lot of people hated it. I loved it. But I love this franchise. I didn't like the other movies. These are the only ones I'm going to own. And this is the only one I'm going to always own forever. Yeah, one of my favorite science fiction horror films of all time. Like, definitely. I love the Alien movies. Alright, next. Recent pickup, Brightburn. This is a really interesting concept. It's basically took a Superman origin story and made it into a horror film. Very clever concept. Yeah, this film's very rushed. It has a lot of issues, but I really enjoyed Brightburn. I think it's a great horror superhero movie to watch. I think it is a really good time, so I kept it. I loved the film. Next, one of the most suspenseful films ever made, Don't Breathe. Yes, I'm going to do this in ABC order, I forgot to mention. Sam Raimi produced this film. Very suspenseful film. One of the most suspenseful films I've probably ever seen in my life. I watched this film in the theater. I was literally on the edge of my seat. This is a really good time. Very, very good. Very, very good home invasion film, I should say. Alright, next we've got Death Proof. I've told you, none of these considered as horror movies. Just the concept in this movie is like terrifying, so I'm going to consider this as a horror film. Like, a guy killing hookers, like, it's a horror concept, but yes, I could say this is my least favorite out of Quentin Tarantino movies. My dad really hates this movie. This was my dad's. He hates this movie. So he let me own it, and it is enjoyable to watch. I love the car chases in this film. It's very bloody. It's very brutal. That's every Quentin Tarantino film. But yeah, I probably wouldn't watch this movie more than the other Quentin Tarantino films I have seen. Alright, next movie is one of my favorite horror films of all time. This is like my #1 favorite horror film of all time. Evil Dead 2. Now, yep, I changed the cover. Remember my last Blu-ray hunting video that the cover is more comical. I want to change to the American cover because I just love that skull and I think it looks really better. But I gotta say, I love Evil Dead 2. I will buy the other ones eventually. Army of Darkness isn't sold in Australia, that's really weird, but the first Evil Dead is. And I'll probably get the remake as well. But Evil Dead 2 is definitely my favorite out of the trilogy. I love this film. This film is crazy, it's hilarious, it's insane. Bruce Campbell, groovy. Just anything you want for a horror film. This is a really silly, low-budget horror film, but it turned out to be one of my favorite horror films of all time. And I watched this film last night, and I still freaking loved it. So Evil Dead 2, fantastic movie. Alright, next, Gone Girl. Now, yep, this is a thriller movie, a very, very dark thriller film. So I'm counting dark thrillers as horror films to me, because to me, thrillers is like horror movies in the most realistic way as possible. So I would say Gone Girl is a bright example of that, but this is a really good film. Very suspenseful, dark, dry film that literally, you just feel the edge of your seat the entire time. Rosamund Pike's best performance in a movie, freaking ever, and also Ben Affleck is fantastic in the movie also. I'm just going to make sure these Blu-rays don't fall off. Alright, next, Get Out, one of my favorite horror films of 2017, Jordan Peele's first directed horror film. A lot of people were excited for this film because of him, and this film turns out as a big surprise. Love Get Out. This film is fantastic, and I gotta say, I want to keep, like, teen mugs away from me, because if they tap the mugs, I'm basically screwed. That's why I love Get Out. It's so suspenseful. Now, we got two monster movies. Now, I'm gonna consider monster movies as horror movies, but these are more science fiction films, but I don't give a shit. Monster movies are horror films to me, and that is Godzilla and Godzilla King of the Monsters Steelbook. Yeah, the first Godzilla I like. Even King of the Monsters I clearly enjoy. Like, they're really fun monster movies that are just worth your time in the theater. So, I enjoy. I would say the first Godzilla is better than this, I would say, out of it. But they're both really fun movies, and I love that King of Monsters Steelbook. Alright, next. There's Something Strange in a Neighborhood. You know where it's going. Ghostbusters. Like, come on. This is a horror comedy classic. I cannot believe they're making another Ghostbusters movie, and hopefully they get it right this time. It took from the director of Juno. That'll be interesting. But nothing can be as good as the original Ghostbusters. It's a goddamn classic. One of the best. Now, we got the Hellboy movies. Now, yes, those two movies are about demons, so I would consider those as horror films. Horror superhero films, I should say. Horror, fantasy superhero films. I love the Guillermo del Toro Hellboy movies. They are the best films I've ever seen. I love Ron Perlman as Hellboy. He is goddamn Hellboy. Yeah, I just found this at JB Hi-Fi, and I'm like, yeah, I need to get those two films. I was trying to find them both individually, but they don't have the collection, so I bought it, and I love them both. I think The Golden Army, I liked it better than the first Hellboy. But they're really fun horror superhero films. They're really good. And, of course, I also got the remake of Hellboy. Now, I might have a different opinion on this. I actually did not like this movie that much. I'll probably put this movie on my worst list. I'm sorry. I did like the movie at first. This film is still entertaining, but in the most guilty pleasure way, but the story of this movie is terrible. I'm sorry. I do like David Harbour, though. He is good as Hellboy, but I just think the R rating, they go way too far with it. So, you probably see Hellboy on my worst list. I'm sorry for people saying, oh, you're the only one that likes Hellboy. I'm starting to hate it now, so I'm sorry. Alright. Next, Halloween, of course, I already showed my Michael Myers figure. This is the sequel to Halloween, like the first Halloween. This is like the third Halloween 2 or something like that. I need to get the original. I know, I need to get the original movie. It's so rare to find. It's very hard to find, so hopefully I'll find the original movie soon. But I really enjoyed this sequel to the movie. I don't know if this is like a rebuild sequel, because this took place right after Halloween, so I consider this as a sequel to the first Halloween. And I'm really interested to see the new one coming out next year, so that'll be interesting. Now, we got Insidious Chapter 1 and Insidious Chapter 2, James Wan directed movies. A lot of people hate the second one. I honestly like the second one. I like them both. The first one's always the best. Always the original is the best. And I gotta say, the actress, what's her name? Lynn Shine? I hope I said her name right. Lynn Shine? Yeah, you know, who plays the Ghost Inspector. She is the best in these movies. Even in the new ones, which aren't that great, but still, she's the best part of those. Now, this is one of the most underrated horror films of all time. I Am Legend. A lot of people really wasn't into this film, and I think this is one of Will Smith's best performances yet. I love I Am Legend. Yeah, the zombies look terrible. They do look really terrible in this movie. But this is a really entertaining movie. I really enjoyed this film. It's very suspenseful, very emotional too. It's one of the most emotional zombie films I've ever seen. Now, we got the original It Steelbook. I did a Blu-ray hunting with Stefan. I had a lot of fun with that video. I really enjoyed the first half of this. Like, with the Young Losers Club, Tim Curry's Pennywise is still great. He's very unappreciated right now because now Bill Skarsgård is taking over. I think Tim Curry did a great job. Yeah, the second half was shit. It was really shit. But I love the Steelbook, so I bought it anyway. it's still okay. Like, I would still watch it on Halloween. It still has some really cheesy, terrifying scenes. But, of course, it's not as good as the remake of it that came out in 2017. It Chapter 1, everyone's now going to call it. I love the steelbook, though. This steelbook is amazing. I love the design of the steelbook. It's amazing. Yeah, really good movie. I think this is one of the best performances by a villain ever. I love Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise. The Young Lucius Club's great. This movie's hilarious. It's scary as shit. Literally, this film still gives me nightmares. It's one of the scariest movies ever made, in my opinion. And yeah, It Chapter 2 was okay. I don't think it was that great. Now, come on. What can go wrong with Jaws? This is one of the best horror movies of all freaking time. With Evil Dead, I think Jaws is in my top 5 favorite horror films of all time. Like, literally. Jaws is like the only great shark movie, and now other shark movies are never good after that. It's like, so sad. Alright, Lights Out. This is a really underrated film. I really enjoyed this film, except for the ending. The ending sucks. But throughout the entire movie, this is a very suspenseful, terrifying film. Literally, with the lights, obviously, this really dark shadow. What a concept. And I really want to see a sequel to this. Like, that would be great. Now, more shark movies in my collection, and we got, of course, the Megalodon. That's my terrible Jason Statham impression. Yeah, we got the Meg Steelbook. Very nice steelbook. I actually really like the steelbook. I dug it. And I dug this movie. This is a very underrated 90s fun shark movie. Like, I feel like shark movies are part of horror as well. This is actually kind of terrifying some scenes, especially the scene you see in the show where the little girl sees a shark at the window. That always terrifies me. But the look of the Meg looks amazing in the film. There are some really stupid shit that happens in this film, but this is a worth-watch film. And Jason Statham, like, come on. He's the best part of this entire film, honestly. Now, this is a film that used to be scary as a kid, and I think a lot of people will be scared of this movie also when they're kids. Monster House. If you have not seen Monster House, you should see it. This is a good film. I got the 3D, it includes the 2D, but I love the cover art. It's so creepy, it's so terrifying. I'm really not a fan of those really digital face animations. I really hate that, but this movie I think this movie did it so well, in my opinion. Like, they make the characters even look more creepier than the house, and that's what this movie is. It's a creepy movie about a house that's actually alive. Like, it's a monster. And I used to be scared of this movie as a kid, especially the opening scene with the Navicracker. Like, literally, what a dick. Like, what a dick. Alright, it's time to go on with the second pile. So I'm gonna quickly move the first pile so nothing will fall. I'm scared right now. I'm afraid it's gonna fall, so stay there. So probably I'll put the second pile right there. Alright, second part, here we go. We got Nocturnal Animals, a really dark, disturbing thriller. I think this is one of Jake Gyllenhaal's best performances, I reckon. Amy Adams is also great, but Aaron Taylor-Johnson, fantastic. This is a very dark thriller, and I really enjoyed it. I'm going to count thrillers as horror films to me. Now, we got The Nun. A lot of hate for this movie. I think this movie was okay. It wasn't great. It's not good. It's just enjoyable, but I like the steelbook. But I think now the Conjuring universe is, I just figured these to stop right now. Alright, next we got Predators. Like, they're slasher movies. Like, science fiction slasher movies. I consider them as horror films. I love Predator. One of my favorite movies of all time. Second one's alright. Predators is fine. The Predator, I'll never freaking get. I'm so disappointed. I hate that movie so much. But, yeah, the first one's, of course, the best. I just wanted to get to the chopper. Like, come on. Prometheus. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this movie. I just got this movie in a deal, and yeah, I'm not too big of a fan. It does have some really good disturbing stuff, so I'll put that in my horror movie collection. Now, we got a classic, Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock. He's one of the best horror directors working today. Like, come on. Alfred Hitchcock is one of the best horror directors of all time. This movie, one of my most iconic movies of all time. The shell scene, so freaking iconic. And I don't know if I should get The Birds or the other films. I think it can't beat Psycho. It's a classic, so yeah, you can't go wrong with Psycho. Now, we got Split. Very disgusting, disturbing thriller that probably brings James McAvoy on the map as one of the best actors of all time. Love Split. Love M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong, a lot of people say. I'm going to call him that. I actually love that. M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. Like, it's so offensive, but yeah. That's what everyone's gonna call him, but I love Split. We got one of the most terrifying movies to me of all time, Sinister. This movie really terrifies me. Like, don't watch this film in the dark. Don't. Like, no, don't even try. You're never gonna sleep. That creature in the film looks freaking terrifying. I hate the ending where he just pops up at the end for when the credits come. And yeah, even Hawk was also great in this film. This is a very creepy movie. Alright, another shark movie. We got The Shallows. Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. This is probably the best shark movie since Jaws, but it's not the greatest movie. I love Blake Lively though. She is great in this film. This is a great one-location survival film. And the shark is freaking insane in this film. But really good survival film. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. Do you want to play a game? Saw. I recently bought it, and I loved it. I love Saw. I love Jigsaw as one of the best horror movie villains. And yeah, I don't know if I should get the other films. Like, 2 I thought it's okay. The other ones like just, yeah, so probably I'll buy number 2. But the first Saw is also great. It's just great. I love the first Saw. Very glory. I hate the scene when you cut this foot off. It's just, wow, what a glorious scene. Speaking of more horror movies, slasher movies, we got the Scream collection. I do enjoy most of the movies except for the 4th one. I'm not a fan of the 4th one. The first one is of course a classic. The second one, third one was very enjoyable. But I had to own this because, you know, I really do love the Ghostface villain. He's just really cool. But yeah, Scream movies are very enjoyable. Now, more of M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. I see dead people. The Sixth Sense, very, very fantastic horror thriller film that brings M. Night Shyamalan on the map. Yeah, Bruce Willis is great. This is a very psychological horror thriller film. I really enjoy this film. I need to see this film again. I haven't seen this film in a while, but literally it's one of the best thrillers of all time. It says the #1 thriller of all time. I would completely agree. It's one of my favorites. Now, we got the Terminator. Now, I know a lot of people say it's a science fiction action film. Well, think of the concept. You're a woman named Sarah Connor, who she doesn't know she's in the future and all that stuff in the past, like throughout. You don't know you are in Great Destiny, and you find out there's a cybernetic organism that went back in time and kill you. Terrifying. So I'm going to count the Terminator in. And yeah, it turns out to be one of the best science fiction action films of all time. And I'll be back, more Arnold impression, that's so shit, but who cares? Yeah, I'm still working on it. Now, 10 Cloverfield Lane. This is a very fantastic horror thriller film. The sequel to Cloverfield that we did not expect to have, and it's not even found footage, it's definitely different to the first Cloverfield movie. I really love this movie. Very claustrophobic as well. John Goodman is great. He is fantastic in this movie. I'll probably get the first one Blu-ray, but I'll never get Paradox. That movie really disappointed me. Now, another Jordan Peele film, Us. Definitely my favorite horror film of this year. I really enjoyed it. I watched it twice in theaters. This movie is still suspenseful. Fantastic plot. I love Jordan Peele's originality with these films, and I think this film's very original. Now, we got another M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong. Okay, I'll just come back. M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit. Literally, after this movie, you go think, are our grandparents like this? Like, this movie makes us think that grandparents are more creepier than we think, and yeah, it's kind of sad. But don't worry, my grandparents are nothing like that in this film. But yeah, very suspenseful film as well. Good found footage film too, but it's not the best, I reckon. Now, we got, yep, this is also a comic book film. That's an action film, but it does have some horror elements, so I'm going to count it in. Venom, with Tom Hardy. I enjoyed this film. A lot of people really didn't like it. I love Venom. I enjoyed it. I watched it twice as well. I love Tom Hardy in this, and I especially love Venom and Tom Hardy together in the movie. Yeah, the Venom aspect was a bit rushed, and I feel like they could have explored a bit more, but I'm really excited for the sequel, directed by Andy Serkis. I'm in for it. But I really enjoyed the first Venom. It's a very fun film. Alright, almost there, guys. We got Werewolf Z. Love zombie films. This is the most insane zombie film I've ever seen. Brad Pitt was fantastic in it. Very fun movie. Very fun zombie movie. Now, I just reviewed The Lighthouse, and now I'm re-reviewing kind of The Witch. The movie that started all with Robert Eggers. Yeah, Robert Eggers, A24 horror films. This is the guy that made A24 great. I love The Witch. Very underrated film. If you have not seen The Witch, you need to check this out. This is a very disturbing movie. If you hate disturbing films, you're not gonna like this film. Alright, ignore the vacuum in the background. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. Oh shit, it nearly fell apart. Alright, 2 more to go. We got Wolf Creek. This is an Australian horror film. This film is glory. Like, literally, I could never watch this movie all the time. I had to be prepared to watch Wolf Creek. That's how disturbing Wolf Creek is. But I love Mick Taylor, one of the best Aussie badasses in Aussie films. Yeah, this film is just... You can't watch it. Like, you can't just watch it on your own. It's too terrifying to watch on your own. And it has 7 AFL award nominations, including Best Director, so it is deserved to be that. And the last film for my horror movie Blu-ray collection, and that movie goes to Zombieland. I love Zombieland. It's one of my favorite zombie movies of all freaking time. I should buy some more zombie movies because I love zombie movies, but Zombieland is the king of zombie movies to me. Literally, this movie makes me want to have Twinkies. I want Twinkies. I want goddamn Twinkies after this film. Double Tap was really good, but I think the first one's the best, definitely. Woody Harrelson, complete badass, but the rest, Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Stone's hot, Abigail Breslin, great kid actors out there. So I enjoyed Zombieland. So guys, that is it. My horror Blu-ray collection video. I told you before, not all of these are considered horror films. There could be some movies that have horror concepts and all that stuff. Yep. I'm enjoying doing these horror Blu-ray collection again now. I gotta put everything back. It's gonna be crazy, but who cares? I've done it. So, basically it's done. So thank you guys for watching my horror movie collection video. I'm really like sweating right now. It was very exhausting. So guys, thank you guys for watching my horror movie Blu-ray collection video. What you guys own, what horror movies do you own, or how many horror films do you own? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Stardust, Instagram, Twitter. Keep contacting me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notified for my latest reviews, and have a nice day.